Hello and welcome. Today, we're going to dive into one of the hottest topics in AI right now, autonomous agents. If you've been wanting to understand what actually makes these things tick, beyond all the hype, then you are in exactly the right place.
So does this look familiar? It feels like every single week there's a new term to learn. React, pair, agentic AI. It's just a constant stream of buzzwords. It's really easy to feel like you're lost and just missing the big picture.
But what if I told you there's a really simple, powerful pattern that explains how most of these agents actually work? Well, there is. It's called the PAR framework. And trust me, it's the mental anchor you need to make sense of all this. So let's break it down. At the very heart of any advanced AI agent is this continuous three-stage cycle. See, it's not just about responding to a prompt anymore. It's about actively pursuing a goal. And that all happens in this core loop: plan, act, and reflect. Just think of it like this endless loop of strategy, then execution, and then learning. The agent plans its attack, it acts on that plan, and then, this is the key, it reflects on the outcome so it can get smarter for the next time around. Let's dig into each of these steps.
First up is plan. This is basically the agent's inner strategist. So if you give it some big complex goal, like say research the competition for our new product, it doesn't just start typing randomly. No, it actually breaks that big goal down into a series of smaller, logical steps. Things like, first I'll identify the top 5 competitors, then I'll search for their recent product launches, and finally I'll summarize their key features. It's pure strategy.
Okay, next, the agent has to act. This is where it goes from just thinking to actually doing. It starts using its tools to execute the steps from its plan. And we're not just talking about generating text here. This is about connecting to a search engine's API, running a piece of code to analyze data, or maybe even accessing a company's internal database. This act phase is what makes an agent a true agent and not just another chatbot.
And finally, we get to what I think is the most crucial step of all: reflect. So after it acts, the agent stops and examines the outcome. It asks itself, did that search API give me useful results? Did my code actually run correctly? This self-critique is what lets the agent learn. If it messed up, it figures out what went wrong and adjusts its next plan. This is the secret sauce for how these agents get so much better and more efficient over time.
So you might be wondering, how did we even get here? Well, this PAR framework didn't just appear out of thin air. It's actually the evolution of an earlier, really groundbreaking idea.
If we rewind to 2022, the React paper laid the foundation with a loop that went reason, act, observe. And that was a huge leap forward. It gave models the ability to think first and then do. But, modern agent frameworks have really refined that last step, which is what led to the pair model that's taking over today.
So what's the big difference between observe and reflect? Well, React's observe step was pretty simple. The agent would do a search and just observe the results that popped up. Basic feedback. But PAR's reflect step is a much deeper, more cognitive process. The agent doesn't just see the results, it evaluates them. It's asking itself, okay, are these results actually good enough to help me reach my goal? Did I make a mistake somewhere? And how can I do this better next time?
And this quote just says it all, doesn't it? PAR is basically React, but fully evolved. That reflect step gives an agent the ability to self-correct and learn, which moves it from just being a tool that follows instructions to a system that's capable of improving all on its own. It's a huge leap.
Okay, that's enough theory for now. What does all of this actually look like out in the real world? Let's compare a simpler reactive system with a truly proactive AI agent to see the difference.
So first, let's look at something like Henkel's Stain Support Assistant. It's a perfect example of a highly focused reactive tool. You tell it, hey, I have a grass stain, and it follows a script to give you the exact right cleaning instructions. It's super helpful, super efficient, but it's always waiting for you to tell it what to do.
Now, let's contrast that with Toyota's eCare agent. This system is completely proactive. It doesn't wait for you at all. The second it detects an engine warning light, it kicks into action on its own. It plans out a whole workflow, contact the owner, offer to book an appointment, and then actually schedule it with the dealership. It's not just answering a question, it's solving a whole problem from start to finish.
And that's the crucial difference right there. A chatbot is reactive. It's like a fancy interactive FAQ, just responding to your questions based on a script. But an AI agent, powered by that PAR loop we've been talking about, is proactive. It's a goal-driven system that can plan, act, and solve complex multi-step problems all by itself.
This distinction is way more than just a technical detail.
It really represents a fundamental shift in how we're all going to interact with AI, moving from just using simple tools to collaborating with actual teammates.
This table really sums it all up perfectly. On one side, you've got your reactive chatbots that just follow scripts for simple tasks. And on the other, you have these proactive agents using the PAR loop to reason, to execute really complex workflows, and, most importantly, to learn from their outcomes through reflection.
And that really brings us to the big question for the future, doesn't it? As these incredibly capable AI agents become more and more common, as they move from being just tools to becoming genuine teammates, what's the first big high-level goal you're going to hand off? It's something we're all going to be thinking about very, very soon. Thanks so much for joining me.